Today I'm going to show you how to turn a photo into black and white in Photoshop. You have so many options to do this. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that I do it. The main thing with black and white photography, or photographs rather, is you really want to have a wide tonal range. You want to have your values be all over from the whitest whites to the darkest darks, because otherwise it's a very gray and dull image. Black and white photography and photographs can go south really quickly, but they can also make a very plain and boring image really unique and interesting just by turning it black and white. It's funny how that works sometimes. This image may not be the best one to demonstrate that with, but I'm going to show you guys just a landscape. We'll turn this kind of Ansel Adams-ish, making it black and white. The first thing you want to do, well, in this case, I'm going to make a copy of the background layer by dragging it down to that little square to make a copy. In case I don't like what I'm doing to this layer, I can delete it and make a copy of it again and start over. It's kind of one of those foolproof things, but it only works in this way. So, alright, just bear with me. Anyway, so first thing I'm going to do is go up to Image, Adjustments, and choose Black and White. You have all these options in here. Anytime you want to do anything in an image, you really just want to go up to Image and Adjustments and then play with any of these options in here. We're going to choose black and white. Now, the really neat thing about choosing black and white in this case is that you can mess with the reds, the yellows, the greens, cyans, blues, magentas, however you want to. Can you see how very gray this image is? I'm going to show you how to fix that in a minute. But I'm just going to play with the colors here, and I know there's a lot of green in here, so I can darken up some of my greens and see that does something crazy. And look how pixelated that looks. It's really interesting. So I'm going to zero that one back out. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Hit OK. See how it's very gray? There isn't a whole lot of bright whites. There's a few dark darks. To change that, I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, and Curves. Now, this is a histogram that shows up in your curves. This is my magic wand for my tool that I use to edit all of my images. In this one, you can see down here is your darks and up here is your whites. And you can see on the histogram, I have a ton of gray. And you can tell because it's spiked all in the center where the gray area is. There's very few darks and literally no whites. So what you want to do with this curve is you can click anywhere on this line and set a point. And when you do that, you can drag it from that point in any direction you want. So you can literally make it super dark or you can blow it out crazy white. It's lots of fun. But I'm just going to darken it just a bit. And I'm going to lift it up to brighten those whites. Now, like I said, this isn't necessarily the best image to be doing this with, but you want to play with it. And one of the main things that you always, with the curves, is you want it to be like an S shape. You can see it's starting to get there. Not like a quite literal hole on S, but you want it to pull up on one end and pull down at the other to make it even. And you can see that's already enhanced that image. I'm going to hit OK. And now to enhance this black and white even more, I'm going to click on the background copy and drag that copy to make a copy of the copy. And I'm going to do a high pass filter on this. So go up to Filter, Other, and High Pass. Now, I've used the high pass filter in other tutorials inverted to soften an image, but we're going to use it what it's originally for right now. The high pass filter is used to bring out the details. Now, this is a really low resolution image because I pulled it off of my Facebook, off the internet, so the pixels are going to be pretty low. You don't want it to look like that. You want it to look like this, where you're starting to see like the glowing edges and parts of your image popping up through the gray. I'm just going to hit OK, and this is where the magic happens. Come over here to the blending mode where it says normal and change it to overlay. Now you can see if I click the eyeball before and after. Before and after. It looks pretty cool. So we started off with a really nice colored image, turned it black and white, adjusted the curves, and threw a high pass filter on it to really bring out the details. And this just enhances the brights and the darks and all sorts of stuff to make it a more dynamic photograph. So I hope that helps, but I'm going to, then you would of course save it as a JPEG. I'm going to show you really quickly how the other ways that you can do it. I don't suggest this way because I don't like it. I like the way I just showed you, but if you wanted to, you could throw a layer adjustment on and turn it black and white and do the same thing up here, and you can throw a curves adjustment on and adjust your curves and everything from over here, which is totally doable. But you can see that it's adding a layer adjustment. It's affecting everything below it. That's why I like to work within the layer by going up to image adjustments instead of adding an adjustment layer, because these adjustment layers affect every single layer below, and that can really screw you up if that's not something that you want to do. So those are two more ways of doing that. Okay, delete. Thank you. No. Yes, I do want to delete it. Okay, thank you. I'm going to make another copy just to show you really quick. You can go up to image adjustments and you can desaturate the image, and that instantly turns it black and white. It's just desaturating it, taking out all the saturation of the color. And then you can go back in and do the image adjustments, curves, and all that stuff. It just doesn't give you the option to adjust each color manually like turning it black and white does. And yeah, so those are 3 ways that you can turn your image black and white.